There are creatures that look like nature's punchline, until you find out where they actually live. With eyes that always seem to be frowning, paired with a thick, fluffy coat and a round, adorable body, this is the Manul cat, also known as the Pallas's cat, a solitary survivor of the rocky steppes and high mountains of Central Asia. They live in an incredibly harsh environment. In the winter, temperatures can drop to around -58 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about -50 degrees Celsius, while in the summer, it can climb past 86 degrees Fahrenheit or about 30 degrees Celsius. And there are many more fascinating things about this cat that you probably would never expect. So let's dive in and explore together in this video. The Manul is one of the most unusual wild cats in Asia. Its scientific name is Odocolobus manul. It may sound hard to remember, but it highlights its most distinctive feature: small, round ears set very low on the head. Those low-placed ears allow the Manul to peer over rocks or low shrubs without lifting its head too high, a life-saving advantage in wide-open landscapes with very little cover. The species was first described in 1776 by the German naturalist Peter Simon Pallas. What caught researchers' attention is that the Manul does not resemble a typical wildcat. It is often considered a very distinct branch within the small cat group, an ancient and isolated design highly specialized for cold, dry, windy environments filled with rock and gravel. The Manul's round appearance makes many people think it is overweight, but most of that bulk is fur. Its coat density can reach about 9,000 hairs per square centimeter. The inner layer is around 1.6 inches thick, which is about 40 millimeters, and the outer guard hairs can grow up to 2.7 inches long, or roughly 69 millimeters. The belly fur is even longer, allowing it to lie flat on ice or snow for long periods while staying warm during an ambush. Its coat also shifts with the seasons. In winter, it turns silvery gray to blend into dirty snow and pale rocks. In summer, it changes to sandy yellow or light reddish tones that match dry grass. The spots on its forehead and the rings on its tail break up its outline, so when it stays still, it looks just like a rock. Another surprising detail is its round pupils, unlike many small cats that have vertical slit pupils. In the open, brightly lit steppe, this eye shape helps it see clearly while hunting. The Manul ranges across Central Asia, from Iran and Afghanistan, through vast dry regions to Mongolia, Western China, the Tibetan Plateau, and areas near the Himalayas. It has been recorded at elevations up to about 18,373 feet, which is around 5,600 meters. What challenges it most is deep snow. With short legs and a heavy body, it usually avoids areas where snow consistently exceeds 6 to 8 inches or about 15 to 20 centimeters. Thick snow slows it down, drains energy, and makes it easier to detect. It likely survives not by speed, but by having the perfect design for its environment and knowing exactly when to disappear. The Manul does not dig its own dens. Instead, it shelters in rock crevices, ground cavities, and especially abandoned burrows left by marmots, foxes, or badgers. It does not waste effort building. It simply takes over the right spot. A crevice that blocks the wind, a hollow that holds warmth, or a deep abandoned burrow to hide kittens becomes its fortress. But this strategy has a downside. If those architect species decline because of overhunting or disease, Manul numbers may drop as well due to the lack of shelter and safe breeding sites. Many people imagine hunting cats chasing prey. For the Manul, too much running means wasting energy, and in cold climates, wasted energy can shorten life. Its body is not built for long sprints, with short legs, a low frame, and thick fur, so it relies on ambush. In many regions, its main prey is the pika, a small rock-dwelling relative of rabbits found in mountains and rocky steppe. In some places, pikas make up more than 50% of its diet. It also eats rodents such as jerboas and voles, sometimes hunts small birds like chukar partridges, may catch hares, and in rare cases feeds on carrion or attacks the young of certain hoofed mammals. The Manul uses at least 3 clear hunting techniques. First, ambush at the burrow entrance. It sits motionless like a rock with eyes, waiting for prey to appear, then strikes quickly and decisively. Second, slow approach. It moves along rocks and low vegetation, creeping close to the ground inch by inch. The movement is so subtle that cameras barely catch it, but that slowness allows it to blend perfectly into the background. Third, pulling prey out. In some cases, it uses its paw to hook or drag prey from shallow burrows, showing that it is not only strong but clever. In all these techniques, one rule remains the same. It hunts by making sure the prey never realizes it is there. On the open steppe, the Manul is not only a predator, it is also prey. Its enemies include golden eagles and large owls from the sky, and foxes and wolves on the ground. Another difficult threat is shepherd dogs, where one badly timed encounter can end its life. When facing these powerful opponents, it does not always run. Its strongest defense sounds unusual. It flattens itself completely and remains still, almost melting into the landscape. Its gray coat and disruptive patterns turn it into what looks like a stone. If in the first few seconds a predator cannot clearly recognize its shape, its chances of escape are very high. You might call that invisibility, but more accurately, it is the art of never giving the enemy a target. If the Manul's life is a series of tests, reproduction may be the hardest. In the harsh climate of Central Asia, giving birth at the wrong time can mean death for both mother and kittens. That is why its breeding cycle is strictly seasonal. The mating season usually runs from December to March, already the coldest time of year. The female is receptive for only about 26 to 42 hours. That means the true opportunity during an entire season lasts just 1 to 2 days. Males must compete intensely, travel far, follow scents, and read timing with precision in an unforgiving landscape. Records suggest a male may search across an area of up to about 80 square miles, which is around 207 square kilometers, scanning an enormous territory just to find that brief chance. After a gestation of about 66 to 75 days, the female usually gives birth in April or May, when young rodents and pikas are most abundant. In other words, it times birth carefully so there is enough food to raise the kittens through. Their earliest stage. A litter usually has about 3 to 4 kittens, sometimes up to 6. By 4 to 5 months, they begin hunting on their own, and by 9 to 10 months, they may reach maturity and enter their first breeding season. It is a fast life cycle, because here, anyone slower than the weather does not last. Even so, survival rates are low. It is estimated that up to 2/3 of kittens never reach adulthood, lost to predators, cold, or a single mistake such as choosing the wrong shelter in an environment that rarely forgives error. The IUCN once classified the Manul as least concern due to its wide range, yet many areas report declining populations. The greatest threat is not hunting, but poison used to eliminate pikas and other rodents, which both reduces its food supply and causes secondary poisoning. Habitat loss from farming, grazing, infrastructure, shepherd dogs, and climate change adds further pressure. Memes have made the species famous online, but they also create the dangerous misconception that it could be kept as a pet. The Manul can endure extreme conditions in the wild, yet breeding in captivity is very difficult. The most serious problem is something without fangs: toxoplasmosis. The Manul evolved in cold, dry regions where the parasite Toxoplasma gondii rarely survives. As a result, it has little natural immunity. When exposed in lower regions through infected meat or domestic cats, especially kittens can be highly vulnerable. Some have died within the first weeks of life from acute infection. The Manul is not a living room pet. It belongs to the frozen rocky steppe, where wind and ice have shaped its quiet survival. Before this video ends, if you know any other fascinating facts about this cat, share them with me and everyone else. Goodbye, and I will see you in the next videos.